Recently, I was watching the most recent upload by YouTuber Scott Kramer titled The Second Channel Epidemic, in which he explores a phenomena on YouTube where creators will make a channel and then amass a community of people who want to watch the sorts of videos that they make, but then over the course of time, either due to extraneous circumstances, rising expectations, or just a desire to diversify the sort of content they make, most YouTubers will inevitably find themselves making a second separate YouTube channel, either creating lower production, less scripted versions of the content they already made, or something completely different so as to not flood their main channel with uploads that their current existing audience might not necessarily be interested in. In this video, YouTuber Scott Kramer interviews a number of his other YouTuber friends and discusses why they created a second channel, what the differences are in expectation and production between the main and second channel, but the key thing is that they all come together on one consensus, which is that if you were to upload varying degrees of quality, varying degrees of production, different levels of good, great, and mediocre videos to one channel, this would confuse the audience, the algorithm, and do overall negative damage to a channel that otherwise only cherry picks the absolute best uploads and saves the unscripted duds for a second channel. Now, if you've been watching YouTube as a viewer for long enough, this all sounds completely normal, reasonable, and expected even. But as I was watching through this video, I was reminded of thoughts that I've had about the way that the YouTube algorithm handles varying degrees of uploads on a single channel, and I've realized that while we all sort of accept that this is just normal, it's really fucking stupid if you think about it. Think about what the YouTube algorithm is. The YouTube algorithm is supposed to be this incredibly intelligent, or rather incredibly efficient machine at recommending videos to you that it thinks you are going to watch. If you've ever listened to a YouTuber talk about the way that they have to edit their videos, the way that they create their titles and thumbnails, their titles need to be unmistakably not skippable, right? They need to be so clickable that you literally cannot scroll past. Thumbnails need to be unmistakably clickable in the same right. They need to portray something that seems so utterly impossible that your brain goes, wait a second, I need to see what this is about. And it does all of those things in order to send the YouTube algorithm the right signals, which is, this is a good video because, hey, people clicked on it. I made the first 30 seconds incredibly retention grabbing. People watched through the first 30 seconds. You can gamify this algorithm to recommend your videos in front of whomever you want to, assuming that you follow all of the key points of what we understand about the algorithm. But at the end of the day, the job to get the right video in front of the right person so that me making the video gets views and you watching the videos get videos to view, that is the job of the algorithm. That's YouTube's job. That's the job of the website. That is what the website is created for. This website would be basically nothing if it weren't for people making videos. It would be basically nothing if it weren't for people watching videos. You would imagine being the Uber of video deliveries. It should do a pretty goddamn good job of delivering to you the videos of which you clicked on this website to watch, right? A lot of the YouTubers that Scott Kramer talks to, and a lot of the YouTubers in general that talk about having second channels, generally have a second channel because they feel like the content that they make is so completely different from what they do on their main channel that there's just no conceivable way that the people who signed up for main channel A doing cooking tutorials or YouTube editing guides, comedic internet news shows, or podcasts or whatever, there's no way they would want to watch my second channel where I've been playing video games or where I've been vlogging or when I've just been talking about my thoughts without high production sets and scripts and edited in memes and sound effects and whatever else. There's no way there's any overlap between those two audiences, and so YouTubers think, or rather feel like they have to, do YouTube's job for them. YouTube should be able to tell the difference between what people want to watch when it comes to video A and video B. Why should I be doing YouTube a favor by putting all of video B on channel B? You're the algorithm. Your entire job is to put the right video in front of the right people. Can you not do the one thing you were designed to do? One really interesting thing that I think Scott Kramer touches on is a few of the YouTube commentary bros, such as Jarvis Johnson and Danny Gonzalez. I don't know if Drew Gooden has a second channel, but those sorts of guys who make a second channel because they want to make videos that are a little bit less scripted, as they say, and they end up in a situation where their second channel content ends up exactly the same as their main channel content. I remember Too Mad, iDubbbz, Cody Co, all of these guys have second, sometimes even third channels where they're doing basically exactly the same thing they were doing on their first channel, but they felt like because they were doing it with a little bit less scripting, a little bit less production, they felt like the topic wasn't good enough to go viral on their main channel. They uploaded to their second channel, and then many of them find levels of success to where these videos continue to garner millions and millions of views, making everybody sort of wonder the question, why did this even go up on the second channel? Why do you have a second channel that feels almost exactly like your main channel? One big reason is money. You know, let's not ignore the elephant that's in the room. If I upload 10 videos and each one of those get 1 million views, well, now my channel averages 1 million views, versus if I uploaded 30 videos and 10 of them still got 1 million views, but the other 20 got less, well, now the average viewership on my channel might be 500,000 or 600,000 or something. And when you're talking to a sponsor wants to pay you based on how many views they think you're gonna get. And if you've shown that some of your videos end up getting less than 1 million views, they're gonna pay you as if every video that you've ever uploaded is going to get the amount of views that your lowest video in the last 90 days or something has done. So what a lot of YouTubers will do is really only make videos on their main channel that hits every point. It's exactly the sort of thing people sign up for. I spent as much time on it. It's interesting. It's relevant. It's got enough news headlines around it that I can basically guarantee that it's going to do as well as everything else. And if it's missing any one of those points, if it just didn't come together in a funny enough way, you couldn't get the editors to make it as interesting, the topic is just a little too niche, a little bit not well known enough to get people to click on it, well, then it goes on the second channel, because God forbid you make $10,000 less dollars because you wanted to make a video because you thought it was interesting and not because the algorithm thought it was suitable for the maximum amount of viewers. Now, here's the thing that really grinds my gears when it comes to this, and that is the fact that all of it is complete bullshit. Now, Scott the Woz has a second channel called Scott Stash, and he said that he originally made that channel as like an archival catalog channel. He said if you go far enough back on his second channel, as it were, you're gonna see like school projects where he was goofing around in high school and college, just making funny, gimmicky sketch comedy and sorts of things. School project videos that he has made that never were supposed to become something that was gonna go viral on YouTube or whatever, but he still wants them to be uploaded somewhere so that if somehow, you know, like his grandma wanted to watch an old video that he made to see what Scott the Woz looked like when he was 16 making videos, that would exist. That's all fine and good. But the idea that you need to make a second channel because the content that you're making is just ever so slightly distant, ever so slightly different from the stuff on your main channel, the fact that that has cataclysmic effects on your income, I feel like is something people don't talk enough. Think about how much of a failure that is on the algorithm, on YouTube's part, that by uploading a video that simply doesn't have a good enough title, thumbnail, concept, or whatever it is that you feel like is a weakness, suddenly makes it so that if you wanted to upload that on your channel where you make videos for people to watch for free, you might as well go fuck yourself. What are you, stupid? Making a video that isn't anywhere near as good as the last video that you uploaded? You're wasting everybody's time. Get off the stage, dipshit. I always think about the haunted house episode that I did with Internet Historian, where we were dicking around in Photoshop, role-playing through horror movie tropes. It's uploaded here on what I think might be Internet Historian's 8th channel. He's got the main channel, the second channel where we do incognito mode. He's got story mode. He's probably got other side shit that I don't know about. This was a channel where he uploaded edited versions of his live streams for that one random 9-month period where he decided to stream on Twitch or whatever. And in that, he decided to showcase live on Twitch this video that never saw the light of day. It was us recording, just dicking around in Photoshop. We actually recorded this video, Shigekazu, and we didn't feel like it turned into anything. And then we just started talking about horror movies, and then this video came to life. And it got relatively edited, cut down, somewhat polished, but never turned into a proper video, never turned into anything. And one day when Internet Historian was deciding that he wanted to live stream and didn't have a game to play, I imagine, he decided to show off this unreleased video that was half done to his live stream, and that got cut into a live stream highlight video for his 5th channel here on YouTube that's now been abandoned. This video has over 1.5 million views from 5 years ago on a channel that at the time probably had less than 100,000 subscribers and like 30 videos uploaded. This is a brand spanking new, not related to anything, barely had any branding on it other than this weird pastel version of Internet Historian's face on the right side of it, and 1.5 million people watched this. But this video didn't get uploaded to the main channel or the second channel or any channel that anybody gave a shit about. It was basically thrown away, archived onto this lost 5th channel that nobody pays attention to anymore, simply because nobody felt like this was going to be good enough to be sponsored, watched by anybody. God forbid you watch this video and then think, is every video Internet Historian uploads just dicking around in Photoshop without sound effects and great background music and everything? Because this video might have negative implications on the quality of the other videos around it, it is not allowed to live in the same house as the videos that get more polish and more effort put into it. And despite that, 1.5 million people watch this. I cannot tell you the number of comments I get of people going, Sumito, when are you going to do a part 2 to the haunted house thing that you did with Internet Historian? We didn't even really do a part 1. You were never supposed to see this. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even know if this video is canon in our universe. How much does that suck? Think about how much that sucks. Think about how much great content from great YouTubers that you watch don't get made simply because of the politics of how the YouTube algorithm works. The fact that people have to make a second channel making things that are pretty close to the first channel but are just slightly different, slightly off topic, slightly less polished. Where do we draw the line? Do I need to make a 3rd channel just because this video isn't necessarily about memes? Do I have to make a 4th channel because I'm not wearing the same t-shirt I was wearing in my first video? Oh, God forbid you guys don't see the same t-shirt and don't click on the video and that drops all of my metrics and sponsors don't want to work with me anymore. Oh, fuck, Sumito forgot to put a period at the end of the title. Everybody knows the main channel has periods at the end of the title. Better make a 5th fucking channel for that one. Here's the frustrating reality about how the YouTube algorithm works. The necessity for a second or alternative channel in order to group together the videos that you're uploading is not because the algorithm is incapable of telling what a video is about and what audience would like it. That's not actually what's happening. If you upload a video where the title says dog and the thumbnail has a dog in it and the description says today we're ranking the top 10 dogs, but the entire video is ranking top 10 cats, eventually, as enough comments and people who watch it roll in, the algorithm will see that the only people watching this are actually cat lovers. The comments are all about cats, and so instead of recommending it to people who want dog content, it's gonna learn, despite what you're telling it through the title and thumbnail, that this video is actually for people who want cats. You would imagine that the algorithm would also be smart enough to tell the difference between a high production and a low production video, or God forbid, a nice edited video essay and a vlog. Is it so inconceivable that those could be uploaded to the same channel by the same creator, and the algorithm would be good enough to split it amongst the most dedicated members of the community who want to watch everything and the people who are just there for the highest quality polished content? Yeah, it should be. The thing is, that's not the issue. The issue is that the algorithm judges your channel based on the metrics and the performance of your latest video. It's not that these YouTubers are making a second channel because they necessarily feel like they need to separate their content because it's different categorically. It's because it performs differently. It's not that they can't upload vlogs to their main channel where they do video essays because they feel like it might confuse the algorithm or make people think that I'm signing up for one thing and getting another. The algorithm will do a good job of recommending people who want to watch your vlogs. It's just that less people will click. And as you upload more and more vlogs, YouTube is now going to think, hey, this guy used to knock it out of the park with 1 million views every video, but now he's getting less on these alternative videos, and then it punishes you for it. Because your videos are getting less views overall, and people who are watching that lower quality content have a lower satisfaction rating, YouTube thinks you're starting to suck as a content creator, and then starts recommending you to less and less new people in favor of other YouTubers who don't suck as much and are getting more views on average. That's what's happening. Some of you guys may be wondering, hey Sumito, how come you don't have a second channel? You know, you do a bunch of different sorts of videos, and you keep talking about how the algorithm seems to punish people for uploading different sorts of topics onto the main channel. I mean, you've been doing these videos where you've been talking about commentary and internet drama, internet news. You've been doing gaming and anime reviews. I mean, all of these things are very different to just talking about memes, and surely that's the most popular thing that you've ever done. Why is it that you still upload everything to the main channel and you only really have one channel? The reason for that is because the person that I sort of looked up to when I started my YouTube channel was PewDiePie. And PewDiePie never really had a second channel. Whether this guy was playing mainstream video games like Minecraft or absolute indie horror titles, or if he was covering memes or internet news, or if he was covering drama and commentary, or cooking meatballs, or hanging out with his wife, or now traveling in Japan or whatever, everything was always uploaded to the main channel. And I actually think there's a little bit of a benefit to uploading a bunch of different things. Yeah, the algorithm might not recommend you as much if you upload a bunch of different things, because it isn't 100% sure what kind of audience would want to watch 30 different topics versus somebody like me right now who only does the same thing over and over again. Meme review, meme review, meme review, makeup tutorial, vlog, vlog, vlog. The more you do repeated instances of the same thing, the higher and higher you will build, and eventually you're going to reach an apex, a peak, to where you run out of blocks and you just don't have it in you to keep doing these builds. There's nothing more you can give. There's no more memes to review. There's no more commentary to cover. There's no more video games that you could do without feeling burnt out. And eventually, after 10 years of making videos like that, you're going to decide, I've built myself up pretty high, but I think it's time to pivot. I'm burning out doing the content I'm doing. The only real option I have, if I want to keep doing what I'm doing, is to try something else. And if you do that and nothing else, you don't have anything to fall down on, and that's where people can end up with catastrophic failures of quitting YouTube because they don't want to do the thing they always did. But on the alternative, if you're somebody who has started over a number of times, you've built up a base. It doesn't feel anything to get back up to the peak that you were at. Sure, the peak that you're at isn't as high as some other YouTubers that have been doing the same thing over and over again, but if you decide you want to start over and go to podcasting, it's not that big of a jump anymore. If you want to do vlogs, well, you can build up your vlogs, you can build up your podcast, you can build up your video games. And at the end of the day, you might be a little bit jealous of the people who have built one really big thing, but there's also something to appreciate about somebody who's multifaceted and is able to share a number of different topics with a smaller community that you slowly build up over time. And while it's difficult to picture that that's even possible when you take a look at the success of some people that have hyper-focused on something, there is also beauty in imperfection. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a second channel. At the end of the day, YouTubers are just playing to the rules that are set before them. But I do think it's important for you as viewers to recognize that this is the result of people having to adhere to an imperfect system. The idea that I can accidentally watch a video, that as one video ends, YouTube could recommend another one of somebody repainting their car, and I'm in the middle of a game and 20 minutes of that goes by, and now my entire homepage is nothing but people working on cars, something that I never signed up for, and that's supposed to be emblematic of this all-knowing algorithm doing a good job of recommending something that it thinks I want to watch. Meanwhile, YouTubers that I enjoy watching through and through on all of their main channel stuff feel the need to basically have to hide secondary lesser content on a second channel. God forbid the algorithm makes you think that that isn't suitable for you, is kind of shit. It's kind of a shit system. At the end of the day, Van Gogh was a brilliant painter who painted some absolute, masterpieces, but to actually think that every other thing that Van Gogh painted when he was in school or learning or wasn't good enough to be hung up in the Louvre, as it were, is like, you know, you will have a better appreciation for his second channel content because his main channel content is so good. Surely that should all just be in the same museum for everybody to enjoy, lest that really be the only way they would discover that lesser known, more imperfect art, is when it's side by side with the really beautiful masterpieces. I feel like YouTubers and their content should work the same way, and the only reason that it doesn't is because the algorithm kinda sucks dick. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you want more from me. No, you cannot join my Minecraft server. It's a single player world, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Spisu.